Hi, I'm Chef Pete, and we're here today in Harris Teeter's kitchen. Today I'm going to show you how to make a chili rub skirt steak tacos. So let me tell you a little bit about skirt steak. If you take a look at this meat here, it's got large muscle fibers, similar to, say, a flank steak. This would be on us what we call the diaphragm. Wonderful piece of meat, used a lot down in Mexico and Tex-Mex cuisine for fajitas or tacos, carne asada, lots of different things. This actually has a great texture, probably needs a little bit of a marinade or some age on the product, and then some nice thin slices to make it really palatable. We're going to put a dry spice rub on here today. So I'm going to put this aside right now and get the spice rub started. We're going to take some garlic and we're going to chop it up a little bit. We're going to want to make a little bit of a paste out of this. Then you're going to add some salt, and that salt's going to be an abrasive that's going to help you turn this into a paste. And if you have a little mortar and pestle, you can do it in that. That's fine. Or in Mexico, they call it a molcajete. Okay. Now we're going to take this, put it in a bowl. Then we're going to add all our spices. So we have some paprika here. Then you have just regular chili powder, which is a blend of different chilies. Cracked black pepper. Then we have a little bit of an instant espresso, little cumin, and not a lot of cumin, because down in Mexico they really don't use as much as tend to use in Tex-Mex style cooking. Some brown sugar for a little sweetness to help balance off some of those spices that are in there, and then of course some salt. Now you're going to want to take that and work it a little bit, mix it up together real well. You want a good blend, and you don't want too much of one thing at one end of the steak. So you just take your time and mix it up. Then we're going to take the steak and we're going to lay that in the pan here. So we're going to want to press this rub on both sides. So sprinkle a little bit on and then press it in. And get it in there, get it to stick. And then turn it over, do the same thing. Then you're going to want to take this and you can either let it sit out at room temperature for about an hour or put it in the refrigerator and maybe let it sit for 3 or 4 hours. So I had a piece that I put the rub on 2.5 to 3 hours ago. So if you can see how there's, lots of liquid in that bag, it's really wet. It's because all these spices have rehydrated. All right, look at that. Look at that great color too. All right, that's that paprika and that chili pepper. So we're going to place the steak on here. And that's what you want to hear. That sound, that's telling me that it's hot enough. That's immediately searing that meat and it's concentrating those flavors. It's going to help this so it doesn't stick also. And a nice thin piece like this is probably only going to take about 8 or 9 minutes to cook to a medium doneness. So we're going to let that go for about 4 minutes on one side, and then we'll flip it over. And then we'll take steak off, let it rest for about 5 minutes, slice it up, and serve it with all our taco sides. Okay, we just took the steak off the grill. Now, one of the main parts of grilling and even a roast, anytime you're cooking a piece of meat, whether it's beef, pork, turkey, no matter what, you need to let that meat rest. What that's going to do is really ensure that you have a nice juicy eating experience. All the juices that are trying to escape from that, that heat, they're actually just settling back and redistributing throughout that steak. So we're going to let this sit for about 5 to 7 minutes. And while that's going on, I'm going to get these tortillas ready. So I've taken them out. We have some 8-inch tortillas. You can buy the small ones, 6-inch, especially if it's for like hors d'oeuvres. You can even go with corn tortillas if you want. It's your preference. We're going to wrap that up in some tin foil. And we're going to put that in a hot oven, 375 to 400 degrees. And we just want to warm them up. They actually eat just a little bit more tender when they're warm, a little bit more pliable when they're warm. Okay, we're ready to plate up and serve. Got my hot tortillas, just came out of the oven. Those are nice. Now I just want to talk to you a little bit about slicing this skirt steak. So earlier on I showed you how the muscle fibers ran, and they were big and thick, so they run across this meat like this. So typically, the way I talked about a steak earlier, you know, you wanted to cut across that width. Here you don't want to. You want to actually take this and almost cut some little steaks out of it across here. All right? And then we're going to turn it and then slice it across the grain. And that's going to give us some more manageable pieces and more tender pieces also. So here a little serving suggestion too. You know, if you have a really nice cutting board, I mean, you could do this for parties and make a nice cheese platter out of it. Or for here, you know, a great little platter to make tacos for the family. Just put everything on there. You don't have as many dishes to clean. And just lay your tortillas on here. Instead of having 3 or 4 different bowls you have to clean at the end. I'm Chef Pete, and this is Harris Teeter's Kitchen. Here we have chili rub skirt steak tacos. Enjoy.